Ever wondered how one might survive in the wild with nothing but their wits and the clothes on their back? Welcome to the tale of a man who did just that. Our story begins on a day much like any other. The sun shone brightly overhead, casting a warm glow over the dense forest. Amid the symphony of nature, a man stood alone, his heart pounding in the silence. He was miles from civilization, lost in the wilderness, with nothing but his determination and natural instincts to guide him. His first challenge was to find shelter. Nights in the wild can be unforgiving, with temperatures plummeting and predators lurking in the shadows. He looked around, eyeing the vast expanse of trees. A fallen log caught his eye. A natural shelter, he thought. With some dry leaves and branches, he created a rudimentary but effective shelter, a safe haven in the heart of the wilderness. Next was the challenge of sustenance. He knew water was more critical than food in the early stages of survival. He remembered an old survival technique, the solar still. Digging a hole in the ground, he placed a container in the center, covered it with a plastic sheet, and put a small stone in the middle. As the sun's heat evaporated the groundwater, it condensed on the plastic sheet and dripped into the container, nature's own distillery, providing him with the life-sustaining water he needed. Food, of course, was next on his survival checklist. He had to improvise a weapon, a spear made from a sturdy branch, sharpened at one end. He waited patiently by a stream, eyes keenly watching for fish. With a swift thrust, he caught his meal. Fire was his next hurdle. Rubbing two dry sticks together, he created a spark that turned into a flame that cooked his catch. Days turned into weeks. He adapted, learned, and survived. He faced his fears, challenged his limits, and found a resilience within him he never knew existed. His journey was not just about survival, it was about discovering his true self, his primal instincts, and his connection with nature. In the end, he did more than survive, he thrived. He had turned the wild from a formidable foe into a trusted friend. His journey stands testament to the indomitable human spirit and its ability to adapt and overcome. It was not the wild that had changed, but the man himself. Remember, survival is not about the fittest, but about the most adaptable. In the wild, your greatest tool is your mind, your ability to think, to adapt, and to make the best of what nature provides. So the next time you find yourself in the heart of the wilderness, remember the man who turned the wild into his home,